You did all the work, and guess what? You did all the work, and you can continue to do the work without me. I have nothing to do with this.
You can take care of this child.
I can, but I'm not.
Why?
Because I'm not. I didn't get you pregnant. What are you saying? You sound so crazy right now. What do you mean? Why not?
I'm probably going to jail for this. I don't care. I've stayed quiet long enough.
Brett Fairley has been arrested, in case you missed it. I'm sure most of you have seen it, but here are the charges as well. So here is his booking picture. There's his name. He was booked on 5/8, and here are his charges. Contempt of court, non-bondable, voting under the influence, boats, reckless or negligent operations, improper personal flotation device. And here is what Hadley had to say about the situation. This is on the Mermaid Mom's page. Her comment was, he was arrested for telling his story and for child support, even though he's off the birth certificate. Also, we were nowhere near the water today, and he had no warrants. I am beside myself. If you were not aware, he posted a 12-part series telling his side of things. He was well aware that this would possibly get him in trouble, as he was not supposed to be posting about this on social media. But he did not want to be silenced. He wanted to get his part out there, and for the most part, that's what he did. Unfortunately, he did not get to finish, as he was arrested. All of these videos have now been removed.
So Brett Fairley, who went viral for his insane paternity fraud story recently, was just arrested and made to take down all of his videos. It's a lot, but I'll give you the quick breakdown. So Brett is a young man who ends up getting approached by an older woman named Maria, who asks him to be her sperm donor. She convinces him with paperwork and everything that it's all on the up and up. He's not going to be legally responsible for this child. Despite this arrangement and them only having a one-night stand to complete this arrangement, Maria ends up finding Brett's mom and grandma and tells them that she's pregnant with Brett's child and convinces them that he should be involved with the pregnancy. His mom and grandma now want to be a part of the baby's life, so they convince Brett that he should be too. So he agrees to start paying child support. But after a little over a year, having paid now $55,000 to this woman for this baby, he ends up taking a paternity test and finds out the baby isn't even his. Not only that, but Brett finds out that Maria likely knew who the real father was this entire time, but refused to disclose it because the real father was married to another woman at the time. Oops! So Brett goes to court for paternity fraud, asking for his name to be taken off the birth certificate, child support to end, and to be paid back for all the child support he did pay. In a kind of surprising victory, the courts actually do agree to end Brett's parental and child support obligations, but they don't make Maria pay him back, and I'm pretty sure his name is still on the birth certificate. The judge also assigns a mutual restraining order for the both of them, meaning that neither of them can ever talk about this case again. Basically a gag order. But according to Brett, Maria broke this order almost immediately by contacting his family, telling them that he's a deadbeat who abandoned his child. So Brett decides that he too is going to defy the order and clear his name. And that's when he made a multi-part series detailing all the lies, how he got played, and also his own mistakes along the way to help educate other men. I actually remember one interview where Brett was asked what he would tell his younger self if he could, and he said that if he had ever heard a story even remotely similar to what he went through, he would have never been in that situation. So his story does have the ability to prevent this from happening. But obviously, the courts don't want this story out there. Why? It just makes you wonder, especially when you consider that in other countries like France, it's actually illegal for men to perform paternity tests on their kids without the mother's permission because, in their words, it would destabilize the community. And honestly, this whole concept that you have to prove paternity fraud is also crazy to me because it's like, did she say the kid was his? Did the DNA test say that it isn't? Seems to me that there was pretty clear deception involved. But we do have to learn from this, and honestly, this is why a lot of guys are very hesitant to sign anything until they get that DNA test. This is also why I think it's really important for women to stop taking DNA tests so personally and making it this big relationship-ending deal. You should want to be able to offer your man that reassurance, and you should also want that reassurance yourself. After all, hospital switch-ups do happen to women too. They can shut him up, but they can't shut us all up, and men need to hear this.
I'm probably going to jail for this. I don't care. I've stayed quiet long enough.
Brett Fairley has been arrested, in case you missed it. I'm sure most of you have seen it, but here are the charges as well. So here is his booking picture. There's his name. He was booked on 5/8, and here are his charges. Contempt of court, non-bondable, voting under the influence, boats, reckless or negligent operations, improper personal flotation device. And here is what Hadley had to say about the situation. This is on the Mermaid Mom's page. Her comment was, he was arrested for telling his story and for child support, even though he's off the birth certificate. Also, we were nowhere near the water today, and he had no warrants. I am beside myself. If you were not aware, he posted a 12-part series telling his side of things. He was well aware that this would possibly get him in trouble, as he was not supposed to be posting about this on social media. But he did not want to be silenced. He wanted to get his part out there.
July 12th, 2021, she confirms that she's actually pregnant. We only found that out later when she started posting on TikTok, but at that time she kept quiet. From July 22nd through July 26th, I was with my friend Whitney. She met my mom and she posted it on Facebook. Maria didn't know she was just a friend, and based on what happened next, I think she got jealous. Because not long after, Maria starts messaging my mom.
Hello.
Hey, Mama.
The night, I guess that we first met, I guess was that night at the half show. One of the first things after we introduced ourselves and sat down, I can clearly, remember her saying to me that she hoped that I didn't think that she took advantage of my son. And of course I gave a polite answer to that. She went on to discuss, and she mentioned, how I guess she was impressed with you to be so young and so successful at that age. I can remember her mentioning your house and all your toys.
From that point on, Maria started pulling my mom in deeper. She would ask for baby pictures of me, and she told my mom that baby's gonna look just like me. She made my mom feel important and needed, and when Maria told her that she had no one, my mom felt pressured to come to the birth.
She told me if something ever happens to her, I want you to raise the baby. And I just remember thinking, this poor girl has no one.
By then, my family was in, they were planning to be at the birth, and I was about to be too. My mom tells me that Maria told her she has no one coming to the birth, no family, no support. She's scared and she really wants me to be there. So I booked the flight on February 23rd, 2022, and it's $677. And I sent Maria the screenshot. By this time, Maria has already had 2 separate baby showers and never posted anything about it. Not one bump photo, nothing. And then a few hours after I booked my ticket, and on the same day that I sent her the screenshot confirming I was going to be at the birth. And at 8.5 months pregnant, that is the first time she ever posts that she's pregnant. And she uses my last name. She waited until I was fully in, and then she told the world. She didn't just lie, she made sure the lie had backup. The day the baby was born, I was there, and I was the first person to ever hold the baby. And I just remember thinking, this is what it feels like to become a dad. I didn't care about anything else in that moment. My parents are there posting about how they're grandparents again. And then the nurse comes in and she brings in the forms for the birth certificate and the acknowledgement of paternity. I signed everything because I thought the baby was mine, and Maria knew I would. After the birth, she scheduled a full-blown newborn photo shoot. She posed me holding the baby and they would jump in the photos. She had my dog in the photos too, and had already ordered a bandana that said Big Brother. She shared the photos online, but I had no idea because I was already blocked on Facebook. She was posting pictures of me and the baby, making it look like we were this perfect little family. And while I'm across the country, she's messaging my childhood friends. She's asking my best friend Dylan and his girlfriend Megan to babysit, and they do. She starts asking my friends and family if they want to be the godparents. She didn't just ask 1 or 2 people, she told multiple friends they might be chosen. Literally, this is what my brother posted of me, the baby, and my friends. He joked, the godparents who didn't make the cut. And Maria liked the picture. At first, she kept things peaceful and calm. It's like she didn't want to risk pushing me away too fast. Once I was settled into this nice little world she created for me, that's when she started to tighten her grip. And that's when the real abuse begins. Part 5 coming tonight. You don't realize it's abuse when there's no bruises. But she didn't need violence. She used my love for the baby to control me. She waited until I was all in. Once I settled into my role as a father, once she knew I wasn't going anywhere, that's when it changed. The control started small, a comment here, a demand there, but it escalated fast. It was Easter 2022 and I flew home to see the baby. I spent nearly $900 on flights. My whole family was at the house. My parents, nieces, uncles, aunts, cousins. I blocked off my Airbnb and I hosted everyone, including Maria and the baby. At first, things seemed normal. She was upstairs drinking, talking with my mom, being friendly. I was downstairs with my cousin, just hanging out. The more she drank, the more her attitude started to shift. There was this edge to her, sharp glances and short responses. I could feel it building. Then, out of nowhere, she leans over the upstairs balcony, clearly drunk, and screams down at me in front of everyone, "Get your ass up here and take care of your child." My mom says this is the first time that she saw it. That Maria expected something from me way beyond what we agreed to. For me, it was the first sign that if I didn't do what she wanted, she would humiliate me in front of everyone. After that day, things shifted, subtly at first. But every time I didn't respond fast enough and give her what she wanted, she would use the baby against me. May 16th, 2022, she asked if her and the baby could stay in my Airbnb rent-free. I don't answer right away. A few hours later, she threatens to take the baby away from me, so I say yes. She moves in, I cover rent, utilities, internet, everything. Meanwhile, I can't rent it out during peak season. I'm losing money left and right, but I tell myself it's worth it to stay in the baby's life. August 2022, I come back again, so I have to drive an hour each day just to see the baby, and then an hour back just to sleep with my parents. I keep showing up, I keep complying, because by now, it's clear. I push back, I lose access. After she moved out of the Airbnb, the control didn't stop. She texted me, "This is what I want from you." She wanted me to start paying the full daycare amount, even though there was no court order in place. And in exchange, she said that I could have the baby every other weekend if I stay at my parents' house. I've never been arrested, I didn't use drugs, I've never been violent, abusive, or even raised my voice around her. There was no court ruling, no concern from a judge, nothing. It wasn't co-parenting, it was control. My access to the baby came with conditions that she made up as she went. Then, about a week later, she posted a photo on Instagram with the man that we now know is the dad. Just something to note, we'll get into that later. Then came the baptism. We talked about this in my first video, but here's a quick recap. I drove 14-hour round trip just to be there. The night before, she asked me to come hang out. I said no, I didn't want to give her the wrong impression. So she told me I wasn't allowed to come to the baptism, just like that. I didn't fight it, I just let my parents go instead. I was just trying to keep the peace. By summer of 2023, things took another turn. Now it wasn't just emotional pressure, it was legal. I was overwhelmed and hiring an attorney felt too expensive. Plus, I had no reason to question paternity. Maria told me if I didn't just sign what her lawyer sent, she would take me to court and get $1,400 a month in child support and $16,000 in back pay. I felt trapped. In those same messages, she said that she didn't want to go in front of a judge. Looking back now, that feels important. I agreed to pay $750 a month and $10,000 in back child support, just to avoid a legal battle. I didn't think I could win, so on August 21st, I wired her $10,000. You think that once the court order was in place, things would settle down, but they didn't. If anything, the control got worse. I made my first court-ordered child support payment on November 1st. Less than 2 weeks later, she's calling me names, refusing to let me keep the baby overnight, and demanding more money again. Even simple visits came with strict conditions. When I tried to coordinate a time to see the baby, she laid out impossible rules for pickup and drop-off. She told me exactly when, where, and how, and still refused overnight visits. She insulted me in one breath and demanded child support in the next. I gave her extra money, $30 here, $250 there, all outside the court order. I was trying to avoid conflict and trying to stay in the baby's life. Then out of nowhere, she texted me that she wants to be with me. I told her gently, again, that's not what I want. Days later, she posted photos of me and the baby at our house on Christmas morning, like we're a happy little family. By early 2024, it felt like there was no line that she wouldn't cross. February 1st, I make the court-ordered child support payment on time. On Valentine's Day, I posted this photo while I was out to dinner. I wasn't even in town, it wasn't my girlfriend, just a night out. Maria saw it and immediately started freaking out, texting that I should have taken the baby to dinner instead. Then she said, "Keep this up and I won't let you see her anymore." I sent her $100 for a Valentine's dinner for her and the baby, just trying to avoid another explosion. March 1st, I pay again, $750 in support, plus $31 extra for dance class. Again, not court ordered, just trying to keep the peace. Then she posts birthday photos, thanking our family and best friends for coming to celebrate. We don't share family or best friends. She just went out of her way to find my family and friends, message them, and inserted herself into every part of my life. I paid for the birthday party, $364, so she didn't need extra money. However, the next day, she demands the child support payment 26 days early. When I say no, she tells me to die and says I'll never see the baby again.
So Brett Fairley, who went viral for his insane paternity fraud story recently, was just arrested and made to take down all of his videos. It's a lot, but I'll give you the quick breakdown. So Brett is a young man who ends up getting approached by an older woman named Maria who asks him to be her sperm donor. She convinces him with paperwork and everything that it's all on the up and up. He's not going to be legally responsible for this child. Despite this arrangement and them only having a one-night stand to complete this arrangement, Maria ends up finding Brett's mom mom and grandma and tells them that she's pregnant with Brett's child and convinces them that he should be involved with the pregnancy. His mom and grandma now want to be a part of the baby's life, so they convince Brett that he should be too. So he agrees to start paying child support. But after a little over a year, having paid now $55,000 to this woman for this baby, he ends up taking a paternity test and finds out the baby isn't even his. Not only that, but Brett finds out that Maria likely knew who the real father was this entire time, but refused to disclose it because the real father was married to another woman at the time. Oops! So Brett goes to court for paternity fraud, asking for his name to be taken off the birth certificate, child support to end, and to be paid back for all the child support he did pay. In a kind of surprising victory, the courts actually do agree to end Brett's parental and child support obligations, but they don't make Maria pay him back, and I'm pretty sure his name is still on the birth certificate.
I agreed to be a sperm donor. She said she just wanted the baby and not a relationship. I was young and naive, and I trusted someone that I shouldn't have. When she told me she was pregnant, I congratulated her and moved to California. I thought that was the end of it. But then she started messaging my mom. She said she had no one, and she pressured us all to be at the birth. So we did. We were all at the birth. I signed the birth certificate, and I decided to be in the baby's life as a dad. I let her and the baby live in my Airbnb for free. I had to pay child support, and she took over $52,000 from me. I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was being a dad. She started asking me to be a family, and when I refused, she called me a deadbeat online, and I stayed silent throughout it all. 2.5 years later, I decided to take 2 DNA tests. Both of them said the same thing. I was not the father. When I shared the results, she said that I was lying and that we tampered with the test.
Before you back all start believing his shit, some company with her DNA, that could have been anyone's DNA.
She filed a restraining order. A judge silenced me and made me remove all my posts, based on Maria's claim that I was actually the father. Here is the court-ordered DNA test that I had to request, and it confirmed again I am not the father. And while I was silent, she kept going. She was changing dates on photos, spinning stories, manipulating people online. Some people believed her. But while she was doing that, I was uncovering the truth. Connections, manipulations, lies, and the truth about who the real father is. This is just the beginning of Maria's web of lies. I started telling friends and family, and everybody's in shock.
The probability of paternity is 0%. Bro!
Isn't that the most insane thing you've ever seen in your life? I hired a lawyer, and he said, do not contact Maria again until she served. For the first few weeks, I was just sad, and then there was this moment. Hadley and I were just sitting there, and she kind of mumbled under her breath, I can't believe she called me a whore. And both of us just started dying laughing. This was the first moment where I was like, what the did I just go through? And then small town people start talking, and I start getting messages like this. I guess all of her friends always knew who the real baby daddy was, but no one bothered to tell me. And I was pissed. I started looking at this tattoo every day. And she would post this tattoo on her Facebook, and now knowing that her friends knew, I start wondering, were they laughing at me the whole time? I started to hate looking at my own arm, and I didn't want the tattoo anymore. It had nothing to do with the baby, it had everything to do with Maria. Hadley suggested that I either get it covered or removed. After some thought, I thought a line through it would symbolize moving on from the abuse, but not forgetting the child that I love. In October, Maria gets served a lawsuit, but not before I heard the process server say this.
I've been down this road with her before. Yeah, who was the guy? It's some kind of swimming pool building or something that she was fooling around with.
Apparently she's been in lawsuits with men before. I had no idea. After she was served, I gave her plenty of time because I asked Hadley how she would react if her kid's dad served her with paperwork showing DNA results that he wasn't the dad. And Hadley said I would immediately call him and tell him to get his down here and do another DNA test in front of me because I know they're his kids. But what does Maria do? For the first time ever, she's quiet. So I post my video to my 100 followers, only to clear my name. I don't mention Hadley's name at all, and I keep the baby's identity hidden. Then the messages start rolling in. Shortly after, I'm served with a restraining order and they're demanding I take down all my posts. And that's when they take the opportunity to start twisting the narrative online. And while I'm silenced for 6 months, I start unraveling the truth about everyone in Maria's web of lies.
I'm cheating on my boyfriend.
Get ready with me while I tell you a story about a time I cheated on my boyfriend and don't regret it.
So when my husband found out that I had been cheating, I really honestly felt like he wouldn't care.
Occasionally, I cheat on my husband. And when I do, I don't regret it.
I told you guys I would stay accountable. I told Kyle I would tell him if this ever happened. I'm a little bit embarrassed. I'm upset. I did cheat.
You what?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It just happened.
I cheated on my husband 3 months ago and I need advice.
You single?
I'm not. I'm married.
You married?
Yeah.
So you married for real? You just saying?
Yeah, I'm married.
Oh shit! So you for real? Or you really married?
I'm married.
But you could forget him. You could be with me.
I'm married. I'm happily married. I love my husband.
You like to have fun?
Who don't like that?
I mean, we could go out to eat. You know what I mean?
We could probably set that up.
All right. Without your husband too.
Okay.
You drink? You said you do drink.
I drink.
I got a penthouse. I actually live downtown.
Oh yeah? What? Like where at downtown?
Like by U of H.
Okay.
All right. So how about this? Let's go get a drink.
Okay.
And then go back to my crib.
You got hookah at your house?
I got hookah.
Alright.
So we gonna go to my house, then what?
It's cool. I don't feel no serial killer vibes.
It's sad though. The fact that you would even consider going back to another man's house, like, that's crazy. But I need to tell you that your husband should be ashamed of you. You can go ahead and get out of my car.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
You on YouTube, so say hi to YouTube, and your husband gonna see this probably.
Okay, I'm pregnant and I don't know if the baby belongs to my husband or his best friend.
I had a 7-month affair in the first year of my marriage and I don't regret it one bit.
I slept with cousins. I've cheated on 2 of my boyfriends.
How many boyfriends have you had?
3.
So damn near all of them.
I cheated on my freshman boyfriend with his best friend, and I said it wasn't real, but it was. It had to happen. It had to.
Tell me your biggest secret.
I'm cheating on my boyfriend with like 5 other guys.
You can tell he doesn't know.
I have his number now.
Well, why not just break up with your boyfriend? See? Or you can stay with him.
But you just told me I had to leave.
You gotta leave, so you ain't got no choice. If you gonna stay with yourself, ain't gonna be at the house no more.
Yes, it is.
Bro, get up. Get up. It don't matter if you got the key. The lock to be changed. How did you cheat on me?
I was ovulating. You don't know women. You haven't grown up with women. My body, I was just listening to my body. We are chemically created. I have this chemical thing in me where I have to.
So many excuses for the women that claim that, oh, guys are not committed and why don't guys want relationships anymore. This is why. As soon as they get commitment, as soon as they get that boyfriend or husband, they just seem to want to disrespect that commitment.
I was just listening to my body, you know. I was at the club. There was a man there, cute, couple drinks in.
I've cheated in every relationship I've been in.
What's up, Kim? Kim, what we doing? This what we doing, Kim?
Who you talking to?
I'm talking to you, Kim. Your name Kim, right?
Bro, this is Jasmine, bro. This is my wife. What you
Your wife?
Yes.
Jasmine? Wait, what is it?
Jasmine.
But you told me your name Kim. We've been dating for a few months now. Who is this?
Hey, women do that. They will give you their different name. If you're on a dating app, they'll say, my name is Queen, my name is Lala or something like that. They will give you their full government name because they know that if they do, you're going to look them up most likely. These chicks be cheating. They be hooking up with dudes. They see his thing. They like the date nights. They like the romance. They like the security and the protection and the provider. But at the same time, they want that guy who's going to give them a thrill. And his thing, commitment for the most part is boring for women. They want it so bad, but when they get it, they're like, man, I'm bored. I need to, do something else. When the man is out providing, when he's working, that's when they get to looking. They have a want or not.
Oh, this is my husband.
Your husband?
Yes.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. Wow, I see that.
I slept with my husband's boss to get him a promotion.
You're gonna lose it when I tell you that I'm a whore.
I cheated a lot of times, so
I'm glad you admitted that.
So you're a cheater. I am a cheater.
My ex-boyfriend of 6 years, love him, really good guy. The last year of our relationship, I started cheating on him with a guy in LA, and that guy was the one who told me break with your boyfriend, move to LA.
Was he cheating on you too, or?
He's a good boy.
You were in Vegas.
He's a good boy, like he's a little dog. So you was this man for 6 years. He was a good guy to you, and you meet another dude, and you just leave him. 6 years going down the drain. See, women act on emotions. She ain't think about the 6 years. That guy bought her stuff, invested in her, listened to her problems, was her shoulder to cry on, did all these different things for 6 years. and she still left it for a guy that she met like that. Crazy, man. So as a man watching this stuff, you gotta ask yourself, why should I commit to a woman? She gotta prove to me every day that she's worth my commitment.
Sort of at the time. Why did you cheat on your 6-year relationship?
I was so bored and so young, and just like when you're that young, it's like you don't know what you want in life, and like in the moment it seems like a good setup and you think you're happy and content, and then you reach like 2021 and you're like, oh, like I have a lot of life to live, and like I didn't want to stay in Nevada. And then I met this guy who was like my dream guy, who was like so hot, and like my ex-boyfriend of 6 years, we stopped having, like I wasn't attracted to him.
So when my husband found out that I had been cheating, I really honestly felt like he wouldn't care.
Okay, I'm pregnant and I don't know if the baby belongs to my husband or his best friend.
What?
So I've been married for 6 years to my husband.
It's not until I got on this app that I learned that married women cheat. I swear I'm not kidding. I mean, I knew it happened, but I thought it was like 1 in 100,000, that it was a very, very rare thing. But since coming on this app, I see videos of like women getting caught cheating, and women.
Everybody knows that married women are the biggest cheaters because they have so much idle time. They got the provider, they got the ring, they got the house, they got the car, they got the dog, and now they're like, okay, I need something to do. They get bored. So when they got the guy who's providing, they got that Beta Bucks guy, then they say, okay, you know what? I need some thrill. And they think about, man, all my other single friends, they out there sleeping around and hooking up. They reminisce about their 304 phase when they was in the streets, and they say, man, I miss that lifestyle. And they go back out there and start cheating, and they cover it up. And when the husband comes back, he says, hey, honey, and gives him a kiss, and then he goes back out, works 10, 12 hours a week, 5, 6 days a week, and it's easy. Stay-at-home moms, especially wives, they cheat the most. Very, very easy. They always have a wandering eye.
Confessing to cheating. Married women confessing to cheating.
Got the audacity, bruh. Still be in my house and she pregnant by another dude.
Why does it matter? You with different girls all the time.
What you mean? What you mean?
You with different women all the time.
I ain't with no different women all the time. And if I was, I ain't got nobody pregnant though. I ain't got nobody pregnant though. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah. You gotta get out of my house.
I'm not going in.
You gotta get out of my house. You gotta get out of my house. All that stuff coming out. It's gonna be all that stuff gonna be out.
What's something that you never told her?
I your ex-boyfriend.
Are you serious?
What the? Like, this is supposed to be like a fun little interview.
No,
Like,
this is for real.
but why you do that on an interview though?
No, I don't want to do this anymore. Are you serious? I'm married. That's what's relevant to me.
That's what's relevant to you?
Yeah.
When did you get married?
Approximately 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago.
What would you rate me on a scale from 1 to 10?
Like hotness?
If she raped that man, on top of that, come on, man. This is like a girl's trip. If your woman is on a girl's trip, just let her go. But it's the thing, a lot of guys, they just feel as though I can trust my woman. And these women say, well, if you're secure and if you trust me, if you're not insecure, then why can't I go out? Why can't I go out at night? And then the guys say, okay, you know, you can go out. Go ahead. I trust you, honey. Have fun. And that's when all the action happens.
Everything, overall.
Overall, hold on. He's a 10.
Can I get a kiss on the cheek?
Questions from a former cheater. Yes, you heard me right. I used to be a serial cheater.
Do you think women lie more than men?
Yeah, of course. Of course. I am a woman and I know how much I used to lie. Inherently, I think women lie much more than men.
Babe, today was hard for me.
What happened?
I almost cheated.
What do you mean you almost cheated?
Yep, we have an intruder. We have an intruder, yep.
1980 response.
Yep.
American 129.
Yep. We have an intruder in the house.
Now, to give context to this, this guy, it appears as though he's living under her roof and he's paying the bills and he thinks he's the man of the house. The guy that's recording. The guy that's sitting on the floor, he's just chilling. He looks like he's the side guy. And the woman that's there, she's trying to say, oh, you know, go away. She's trying to, you know, she's calling law enforcement or whoever and said, oh, he's, you know, breaking in. He's this, he's that. Go out, or get away. She's protected to do this on the floor. And I guarantee you, he ain't paying no bills. He ain't committed to her. He's just there to lay pipe and have a good time.
I've been here for 6 months, and you in my house? You in my house?
Get the out!
You in my house?
Please send somebody.
You in my house?
Please,
yeah.
please.
Yeah,
I just
please.
report
I'm
this
here.
guy, and he broke into my house.
Yeah. No, he did not.
Please.
No, he did. I live here. I live here.
See, he's living under her roof. That's why you got to have your own place, guys, so you can just kick these women out.
Hurry, please, hurry.
Come on. Yeah, I live here. He in my house. We had an intruder. His name is Elijah. His name is Elijah. Yes.
I can't hear over him.
Look at him.
Protecting that
He got all
man.
the way to my crib and Ubered, and I ghosted him because the other guy had a bigger.
Did you ever see him again?
No.
You just permanently ghosted him because a guy with a bigger arrived to your house at the same time.
The sad part is the guy with the bigger had a girlfriend.
I have a confession to make. I've been cheating.
It don't even matter. This
You did all the work, and guess what? You did all the work, and you can continue to do the work without me. I have nothing to do with this.
You can take care of this child.
I can, but I'm not.
Why?
Because I'm not. I didn't get you pregnant. What are you saying? You sound so crazy right now. What do you mean? Why not?
I don't, because you my husband.
How are you okay with cheating on me, though?
You're making me stressed.
Let's stick to the fact that you went and cheated on me. Let's stick to the fact that we're married. You cheated on a married man. You stressed yourself out. You did this. You put this on yourself. You should have thought about that when you decided to go cheat on your husband of 10 years with somebody that you won't even tell me who it is.
Because they don't even matter. They are nobody. It don't even matter.
That's not my problem anymore. That's not my problem anymore. That's not my, this is your problem now.
I am carrying a
We were
kid.
supposed to be married. We are supposed to be a family. We're not anymore. I can't support somebody going out cheating on me and getting pregnant.
Oh my God.
And look at how you acting. Like you don't even seem like you even care.
I do care. That's what I'm saying. Like,
You don't act like you care. You seem like you care more about financial stability.